But openness is the flip side of presence. I could describe it in exactly the same way. Openness is not a weakness. Openness doesn't mean that you have no boundaries on the level of personhood. This is a big misunderstanding, a big mistake. Yeah? That if I am open, it means I'm vulnerable. I'm vulnerable to the harm that can come at me, and so on and so on. I'm not talking on the level of personhood. On the level of personhood, you have healthy boundaries. I'm talking about something much deeper than that. Once again, like presence, in openness, there is no taking ownership of what appears in your field of experience, your field of consciousness, your field of awareness. You let it be. It arises, just like a cloud forms, and then it passes, just like a cloud dissolves. All weather appears in the sky. Openness is just like the sky. The sky cannot reject the weather. The sky doesn't say this shouldn't be happening. It is happening. It's always happening, and it's always changing. You, as your true nature, are the sky. You are sky nature. That's what the deep heart is. That's what the open heart is. That's what the original mind is. That's what the open mind is. Sky mind, sky heart. It's one and the same. That's who you are. That's what you are. Know that. Be that. Rest in that. That's what we've been doing in these little meditations. Feel it. It's an openness without a boundary. The personhood can say yes and no to circumstances, to choices, to decisions. That's your right. That's your human right to say yes and no. But when that yes and no arises from ignorance, ignorance of true nature, which is simply not having touched sky nature and simply operating from the surface ego mind that is really just a product of conditioning. It's a robot, it's robotic, it's automated. You think you have free will, but it's based on conditioning. It's based on the matrix. Yikes. Yeah. When you know sky nature, or at least have touched sky nature, there is some awareness of sky nature. Then your yes and no will arise from a more intelligent place. Yeah. This is love. Openness is love. Again, not love interpreted by the mind. Not love because it makes you feel nice. Not love because it looks some way according to your image of love. But love is a state of forgiveness. Forgiveness is letting be. Forgiveness is sky nature. Yeah, on this cross, on this, of presence and openness, we can call presence a depth, if you like, being rooted in now. Yeah, rooted without being tight, being rooted in now, just unshakably here and intimate with what is. We can call openness a breadth. Yeah, it's a breadth. It's an unbounded breadth. It's so wide that it has no beginning and no ending. It is infinity itself. On this axis of verticality, and horizontality, but not horizontality in the way that I usually use it, which is to do with the movement of the ego mind, but simply this sort of dimensional cross of depth and breadth. On that the ego self is crucified. And remember, there is no such thing as an ego. You can't find the ego anywhere. It's not located in the brain. It's not located in the body. And it's not like located in some astral realm. It's a process. It's a movement. It's a mechanism. Yeah. And on this axis, yeah, let's call it an axis of depth, presence and openness, that movement stops. That's all that happens. In presence, just being intimate here with what is. In openness, allowing what is. Yeah, none of it taking possession or interpretation or interference with what is. That movement, that egoic movement of trying to take ownership, to interpret, and then to categorize by rejecting or clinging to, stops. The movement of the ego mind stops. That's called the eternal now. And in that, there's a rebirth. There's a rebirth, a death of old consciousness, the matrix of conditioning, and a rebirth into the clear light of beingness. Now, here.